Meghan Markle didn't just lose the narrative. She got out PR'd by the Duchess she thought was yesterday's headline. Tonight is the meltdown, the receipts, and the royal payback she didn't see coming. If you're still watching, you clearly love this kind of content. So hit subscribe so you never miss the next one. Here's what you'll learn by the end of this video. What Sarah Ferguson actually hinted at, how a single sly line detonated years of carefully managed branding, why Buckingham Palace reportedly stiffened behind closed doors, and the real reason this feud hits deeper than gossip, legacy, loyalty. And who gets to write the royal story in 2025. It begins with a quiet interview and a not-so-quiet pause. Sarah Ferguson, Fergie, promoting her book, smiling, reflective, unthreatening. The host drops Meghan Markle's name, and the room changes temperature. Fergie tilts her head, lets the moment breathe, and delivers a line that sounds harmless until you replay it 3 times. She's not the first young woman fascinated by royal life or the perks that come with it. Then comes the wink to a yacht summer. Glamorous trips, attention, powerful eyes watching from the deck. No accusations, no names, just breadcrumbs. And the internet devours crumbs like a 3-course meal. Inside Montecito, the mood reportedly flips from serene to siege. The strategy that always worked, deny the rumor, drown it in a new project, pivot to purpose, suddenly stalls. Because this time the whisper didn't come from a tabloid stringer. It came from a duchess who lived the consequences, paid for them, and learned how to drop a grenade with a grin. Fergie doesn't shout. She insinuates. And insinuation is the one thing modern PR can't fact-check out of existence. Why does a single comment land like a hammer? Because it rekindles the oldest storyline around Meghan's pre-royal years. Ambition versus authenticity. Fair or not, that's the frame her critics love and her team hates. Add a historical foil, Fergie, the duchess who flew too close to the flashbulbs and still crawled back into the family photo, and you've got a clash of archetypes. The self-styled modern heroine versus the scandal season survivor who knows where the cameras really are. Within hours, hashtags trend, archived photos circulate without context, and armchair historians stitch together timelines no palace press office could ever untangle. Team Meghan calls it misogynistic, recycled gossip. Team Fergie calls it memory. The truth lives in the gray, selective recollections, convenient omissions, and a royal audience that loves a morality play with familiar costumes. Meanwhile, the palace keeps its poker face. But timing matters. A monarch pushing unity has no bandwidth for duchess-on-duchess friendly fire. Courtiers don't care who wins the comment section. They care about oxygen. Every headline about the past steals oxygen from the present. And in that world, oxygen is currency. So what's really fueling this? Respect. Or the lack of it. Long memories in short corridors. The wedding overshadowed by a pregnancy headline. Frost at family events. The sense, rightly or wrongly, that Hollywood instincts bulldozed Windsor etiquette. Fergie's camp doesn't need to shout revenge. They can let history do the talking. She's been humiliated, exiled, clawed back, and, crucially, learned how to survive the British press without looking like she's trying to. That's the part Meghan's critics seize on. Effortlessness versus effort. The more you work to control a story, the more the story controls you. Meghan's counter is classic. Reclaim the narrative. Quiet the feeds, huddle with the publicists, plan the clean swing. High-minded interview, thoughtful documentary tone, themes of womanhood, truth, and resilience. It's smart. It's on brand. It's also risky. Because the format that once crowned her, a polished sit-down, now triggers skepticism in an audience trained to parse every micro-expression for strategy. The more perfect the lighting, the louder the chorus of spin. And then the leaks. Not smoking guns, those almost never exist. Just enough glossy nostalgia to muddy the water. Yacht decks, party nights, famous faces, out-of-context frames served with captions that do the heavy lifting. It doesn't matter what's real. It matters what's plausible. In reputation wars, plausibility wins headlines, and headlines shape memory. Here's the hidden layer almost everyone is missing. This isn't about who said what first. It's about who understands the rhythm of scandal. Fergie grew up in the analog era of slow burns and Sunday papers. Meghan mastered the digital age of surges and swarms. When analog shade meets digital wildfire, the person who wins is the one who knows when to stop feeding it. Fergie hinted and walked away. Meghan's machine engaged. One side looked serene. The other looked strategic. Optics aren't truth, but they are momentumed. Where does this go? 3 forks in the road. 1. De-escalation. Meghan pivots hard to substance, philanthropy with receipts, projects that trend for impact, not intrigue, zero oxygen to the past. 2. Confrontation. A direct on-camera address that names the innuendo without amplifying it, tight, surgical, no tears, no violence. High degree of difficulty. Done wrong, it boomerangs. 3. Triangulation. A third voice, trusted, neutral, boring in the best way, lays out a timeline and closes loops without drama. Boring is underrated. Boring ends stories, and Fergie? She'll keep doing what works for her. Charm, candor with cushions, and one-liners that feel like confession while revealing almost nothing. It's the veteran's playbook. You don't win by proving you're right. You win by looking like you're fine. Here's the bigger takeaway that matters beyond the feud. In royal narratives, love and ambition are not enemies. They're dance partners. Everyone who steps into that ballroom wants both belonging and a spotlight. The institutions demand self-erasure. The modern world rewards self-expression. The tension isn't going away. It breaks some people. It hardens others. It makes all of them legible to millions of strangers who will never meet them and feel certain they know who they are. So, did a single Fergie soundbite expose Meghan?
No.
It exposed something else. How fragile any meticulously curated persona becomes the second a credible antagonist refuses to play along. That's the lesson. If your narrative can be toppled by a sentence, you never owned it. You rented it. Why now you can see why this moment matters. A seasoned duchess using implication. A modern duchess relying on control. A palace allergic to noise. And a public addicted to it. The next move will decide the arc. Double down and look rattled. Go quiet and look confident. Choose the stage carefully, or let the other duchess choose it for you. Your verdict time. Is this a calculated Fergie jab from a woman who knows the game too well, or a necessary reminder that every fairy tale begins before the palace gates? And for Meghan, is the smartest power play to fight the flame or starve it? You've got the timeline, the tactics, and the stakes. Now you decide who actually understands the crown's oldest rule. The one who controls the oxygen controls the story.